So for the record, man, what did your company do last year, man? What was the revenue mark?
So we finished off at 2.3 million last
There you go.
year.
That's killer, bro. That's really, really killer.
So our
And it's the Salt Lake, Utah area, right? Like I know like that town's big, but everything around it's pretty rural, right?
yeah, so Salt Lake City, and within an hour of us is pretty much 90% of the population of all of Utah. So So we pretty much dominate all of Utah. There, you go about 4 hours south, and there's St. George, and then 6 hours south there's Moab, and there's
Mhm.
Zion's National Park. Those are little towns, like 300,000 people, but like with the 3 million people that are here, we can service the majority of them
That's
just in our
awesome.
area.
In like a 1 hour radius.
Yeah, within 1 hour. I mean, I don't know exactly. Like technically, like for big jobs, we'll go an hour and a half. Or there's a town up in Logan. It's called Logan. It's about 2 hours north of us, and there's Bear Lake, which is like the nice cabin areas. It's like we'll make exceptions. Like we're going to Elko, Nevada, to go and paint a couple boot barns
Oh, that's
next week.
cool. That's
We,
cool.
yeah, well, that's a whole different story how we got that job, but I mean, it's just we'll go where the money is, but also we try to focus just in the Salt Lake Valley because that's where our area, our office, our location is
Mhm.
local to Sandy, and
Yeah,
that's one of our inherent advantages of
for
you
sure.
know and who we are really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, other than that communication, man, what are some other things that like you would say to help someone kind of get out of that like that 500K? Like, what are some things that got you that 2.3 other than wanting to be trustworthy and have a good communication? What are some other things you think helped get you there?
Well, one of the things obvious, well, and I say it's obvious, but a lot of people, I remember this. One of one of my close friends that I've been mentoring for about 2 years. The reason where he's at now instead of much further is because although we've been talking for 2 years, he was so hesitant to spend any money on marketing. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm making, I have a $400,000 company, but I'm bringing back 150, and it's like my family's doing so good, and I like being there. And if that's where you want to be, that's fine. If that's what your company wants to be and you want to be there, that's fine. But if you want to get like you can grow a large company without marketing. But if you want to get out of
it's gonna be slow.
500,
It's gonna be slow.
yeah, it's so slow. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason that we're getting like 10% referrals right now. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not because our clients aren't happy. In fact, the clients that were from 4 years ago are some of the happiest because it was me and
Because
my
you're reaching a
business.
bunch of new people with marketing, right?
Yeah, like there's like think about this. Like you don't need your house painted every year. This isn't reoccurring clients. Like if you want to have like you can't just paint 100 houses and then expect to paint those same 100 houses next year. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna need a lot of time. Like
maybe
um,
4, 5, 6, 10 years, even.
yeah, I mean, like a lot of the really big companies that I know about that don't do marketing have been in business 30, 40 years. And they're still like, I met someone at the PCA, and we had a good conversation with him. He's like, I'm one of the highest in the area. And I dominate with the quality, but they're stuck at like 700,000, and they've been
Yeah,
stuck at 700,000 for like over a decade
yeah,
because if they put some money into marketing, they put some and they need to work on their sales system as well. But if they put some money into marketing, they could double that. Especially like seems like their production is only at 80% capacity right now. You could put 5% into 5% into marketing, get 20% more jobs, and you just increase your revenue by 20%, which is 140,000.
hmm.
And I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive on our marketing.
What kind of percentage do you reinvest back into marketing on
10,
average?
10 to 15%.
Yeah, that's what I normally see with people, and you fall in that exact bracket. Like a lot, I think the typical advisable range has been somewhere between 5 and 15%. I would break it down further and say like between 5 and 10 is more about small growth or maintenance somewhere in that area. And if you want to be aggressive in growth, you got to be like in that 10 to 15 range.
Yeah, and we are very aggressive in our growth, as you know.
Yeah. What? Yeah, of course. You had, so what, you 2.3 last year. What was the year before?
1.1.
Dude, that's over 100% growth year over year.
Well, we've done so we did 250 our first year,
Yeah.
and that was from April to November. And we had
Okay.
made so much money in those months that we took the whole winter off. Any bids that came in were pricing so like triple our prices because we didn't want to do them. And then we get back and we're like, all right, it's March now. And from March to that year right there was 550, which was
That's the text year you talked about, right?
what?
That's the year where you were still texting things.
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
texted there, and then we didn't get onto a CRM until October of that year,
Okay.
and then it was September technically, September, October, and then that year following with just marketing and with systems got us to 1.1 and then 2.3. So we've
That's
only
a,
had
so 250, 500, 1.1, 2.3.
yeah,
That's basically 2xing your growth every year,
that was
right?
the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's aggressive growth. Now, I mean, I think, like it's going to be harder to 2x a company that's 50 million to take it to 100 million. Like there's going to be a point where 2xing is going to be really difficult. But
It's-
I feel like you could probably 2x even to 5.
yeah,
What's your goal for this year?
our goal is 3.5. So
Okay.
our goal is actually not to double this year.
Okay.
There is a point like the wonderful thing about me and my business partner is we don't like with the investments I have with my real estate. I don't need a paycheck. So
Mm,
like I like taking paychecks. I enjoy them, but like if I need to buckle down and not get paid, I'll not get paid and grow the company. Our goal last year was to not really make much profit because we wanted to get to the point where we can shoot for
reinvest as much back into it.
yeah. And this year we're shooting for profit, so we have a much lower growth. It's still a big jump. It's still over 50% growth,
Yeah.
but it's not double because we want to focus in on our accounting and our back end now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot of money invested into marketing, sales, and production. Now we have this fourth pillar that we're really working on:
The operation systems and stuff.
operations, accounting,
Yeah.
bookkeeping. Like I had no idea. I had no idea how much, and a lot of people in our community, in our industry, the people that are selling coaching programs and are selling growth, they focus on sales and marketing because it's the biggest dial. But like a lot of that comes at the cost of profit. And like we've cut our overhead like it's a we this the past 2 months we've cut our overhead on non-essential items by like 10 grand a month. Like
Dang.
so that's
That's
120 grand that we
that's a lot of
saved.
that's a lot of money back in your pocket, you know?
I know exactly.
Yeah.
And so like when you're trying out these systems and you don't have accounting, you just don't know that we're paying for white pages. Like when did I sign up for white pages? Like
Yeah, I doubt that generated you enough money to be worth it.
it was only $6 a month. It
But
only had
still,
to,
but
you know.
still, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, I mean, I don't think you should put too much into accounting until you're making money to make it worth it. So, I mean, I think that there's a logical progression of growth. Like, you can't get great at sales and have no marketing because you have no one to sell to. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can't get great at operations until you're closing deals. So, like, there's a very sequential thing that normally happens. And yeah, in my industry, that's normally one of the first things we think about because we have to get leads to be able to get sales. We have to get sales to be able to get jobs. We have to get jobs before we can hire more people to do the jobs. And then ultimately that leads to profit. Now we got to think about what the hell do I handle all this money in my bank account and how do I do tax planning and strategy and all that stuff. Like what does tax planning and strategy do if you're making 100 grand a year? It's just absolutely pointless to do. Just file your freaking return and be done with it. It's
Yeah.
not enough. But if you got a few million coming in like you do, yeah, you probably need to pay attention to that a little bit. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you're looking for help growing your contracting business, I invite you to join my free community. In there, we go live with amazing trainings, share resources and downloads, plus you get free help from me and from peers. That link is down below to join, and we'll see you in the next video.